Okay, welcome back to my channel. This is, what if? This is what if Deku was a survivor. And no, this has nothing to do with zombies. So please don't think of this. Has something to do more about, basically survival games. Something like that. Survival games, scavenge, and get as much supplies as you can and survive. But there's no zombies involved. So, let's give some background information. So this is the same world, regular UA, regular MHA, but there is a secret underground, basically organization that has mastered teleportation. So they teleported to a realm, basically that is, basically blank. There is, basically is land, just land, and this is just land. It has little lakes, no oceans, just lakes, rivers, no, but it's all fresh water with trees scattered here and there and a forest. So they decide to build a city. They do this, and they said they wanted some entertainment. So what they do is they kidnap children all around the world, and they force the children to fight each other. Not just that, kill each other. They also, they then implemented, weapons, knives, pans, forks, spoons, things like that. Anything they can get their hand on. Guns, vehicles. They also put supplies in there like food, first aid kits, and things like that, and they force kids to go in. But before that, they already teach the kids how to, use most of the supplies and things like that. They teach them how to cook. Well, they don't teach them how to cook, but they teach them how to cook, basic things. And they teach them how to do first aid. And they teach them how to use the weapons, and that's it. How to use guns and knives, that's it. They don't teach them anything else. So they're going to have to learn the rest of the things on their own. And 1,000 kids were kidnapped, and they forced them all to fight. One among them was Deku. Now, let's get into the story. Izuku Midoriya, born the same. Green hair, green eyes. Healthy baby boy. Inko Midoriya is the same. Hisashi Midoriya is the same. He moves away to America to work for his family so they can get, more food and he can provide for them. One day, Inko, this is basically after, Deku was pronounced without a quirk. And unlike canon, Deku didn't cry and Inko didn't cry. They basically tough right through it. Inko says, "It's okay, baby. You know you don't have a quirk. You can become a hero." Deku knew that, he did not have a quirk. He might not be able to become a hero like All Might, but he can become the best hero he can be. So, that's different from canon. So, Deku, he, at a young age of 4, he started learning from the internet, basically. He started learning how to work out, basically get muscles so he can, train before UA. So he can become a hero, as he does do that. And he learns how to cook from his mother and, things like that. He went to the police station to learn, basic hand-to-hand combats as he did. They actually felt pity for this kid, and they actually taught him that. One of the officers actually said, "Hey, kid, come here," as he taught him how to shoot a gun. First, he came him like a regular Glock, Glock 17. He had to shoot that. Then they slowly moved him up to different guns, like rifles, SMGs, and things like that. But they never really, gave him the hardcore guns, But, they did do that. And they felt, pretty nice with Deku being around them. They actually liked the kid. And this is around the time Deku gets kidnapped. He's tranked, not tranked. He's injected with a needle that puts him to sleep, and they take him away. Inko is worried. She doesn't see Deku for at least, all day. And then, she's worried. She goes to the police station. She sees Deku's not there. She goes to the playground. Deku's not there. She asks Mitsuki if Mitsuki saw Deku. Mitsuki says no. She is, a little worried. and she can't find Deku. As she, files a missing person report, and the officers are looking around for Deku. They like Deku, so that's why they're looking around for him so hardly. And a bunch of other citizens like Deku too, because he's pretty nice to everyone, and he helps out a lot. As no one can find Deku. With Deku is in the back of a truck with a whole bunch of other children as he wakes up, one of the first to wake up. As he sees this and he's wondering where they're at. As then they get off the truck. As the rest of the kids wake up. As then they pulled out and they in front of this man with a mask on, as he speaks to them. You all are here for one simple purpose. For our entertainment. As you all be going into this area, you all will be forced to kill each other for our own entertainment. And if you do not comply, as he pulls out a gun and shoots one of the kids, you will be executed. As they're a little bit scared from this, and Deku is too, because he's never been in a situation like this. As they force them all to go into, through the portal. And all 1,000 of these kids are forced to live on their own. 4 years old and up. Deku is 5, not 4. A year skipped. So they're all forced, and they have these collars on them. If they've not killed the person that they are targeted to kill, the person in front of them, they don't kill them, they will, be shocked. Some even to death. As Deku lands. Nothing in his hands, nothing in his pockets, with just his clothes. As he's a little bit scared, so he starts thinking what the cops told him. Basically if he's by himself and he has to survive. First look for supplies. As he does that, he finds a little town. As he goes into the buildings, he finds food. Basically start, gathering that. He finds a backpack and puts the food inside the backpack. This is like a camper's backpack. He then goes to one of the rooms and he finds a gun. What I'm going to say is a P90. Yeah, he finds a P90. And he finds some ammo for it, so he takes that too. He then finds another gun, which I'm going to say is, I don't know that much about guns, seeing as, I don't really pay attention to them. Let's just say he finds a semi-automatic rifle, as he takes that one too. And he finds him a 1911. And he takes that, he holsters that, and he takes all the guns and he runs off. Going from building to building, taking supplies, water, food, basic things like that, basic rations. And he starts moving. He learned from the cops to never stay in the open. From their line of duty, never stay in the open, always stay behind cover. As then they all get this notification on a little watch they all had. As it dings and it says, first person eliminated. They wonder what that means, as it shows them on a watch a dead body. As they're a little bit shocked from this, thinking that somebody actually killed someone, as they keep running. Deku goes to another building as he finds a knife. He puts that in his pocket, in his boot actually, and he finds different clothing than what he has. As he changes into that, they give him basically military boots and a military outfit with camouflage. As he runs off. He runs into the forest as he finds someone. He sees someone. As the person that he noticed him. As the person starts shooting at him. As Deku ducks behind a tree. As the person keeps shooting, basically not used to using a weapon, so he isn't hidden what Deku is. As Deku knows that this person isn't really used to weapons, as he pulls out his semi-automatic rifle. And unfortunately, Deku takes his first life. As they report again, another person has been killed. One more down. 998 left. As Deku goes to the body, he scavenges it. He takes the ammo, the ones that fits into his semi-automatic rifle. He takes pistol ammo too, and he takes the supplies of the kid. He also takes his backpack, so he has two. So he keeps moving, and this is what I want to skip. For about 3 years, as there is now only 5 children, with Deku among them. Inko. Inko is pretty sad that she hasn't seen her son in about 3 years. Deku is now 8. As the rest of the children, two, basically shoot at each other. One comes out victorious. This was basically an 11-year-old versus a 12-year-old. The 11-year-old survived that. Then something happens. A bomb goes off. Boom. Blowing up one of them. It's basically Deku left. Deku versus 2 other people. As Deku takes down one, and the other one basically can't handle this anymore, and basically offs himself. And Deku is the winner. As the people basically cheering, basically happy that they just had so much entertainment in over 3 years. They've had 3 games in 3 years. Every year was a game. As Deku is getting tired of this, he's getting tired of being forced to kill other children. He's getting angry. So what he does is, with his AR, he has an AR. He basically puts a suppressor on it, and he keeps, a pistol with a suppressor on it too. He hides it with his mini Uzi that he has that also has a suppressor in his jacket, as he's forced away. As the people that go to confiscate their guns, try to take Deku's AR, he just guns them down. As he has a suppressor, so no one else notices this. As he goes through the whole building, the whole place, taking out as many people as he can, and he takes down a lot. As this is the same time that the police, SWAT, the heroes notice what this place is. This about time. Deku finishes off everyone inside the building, including the boss. As he's just sitting there, tired, panting, basically, with blood on him, bullet scrapes, bullet wounds, just standing there over the man's corpse, with his fist bruised and bleeding, as he beat this old man to death. As he goes over, he sits in a chair. This one, a SWAT, busts in through the room, and they see Deku basically, tired, bloody clothes, panting. As they ask what happened, Deku doesn't speak, and he just falls asleep. Basically, he passes out. As they, take Deku away, bring him to the hospital, and they check the surveillance cameras that the people had at, their base. They see it. All of these years, these kids were forced to basically kill each other. And Deku always came on top every time. And this time was the 3rd time. And this time, he took out everyone in this base single-handedly. Over 1 million people he took down. Oh yes, there was 1 million people. He took them all down. As people started calling him the Ripper. Yes, they called him the Ripper. And that was the only organization that actually did this. There are no more organizations like this. As Deku is knocked out, in the hospital getting treated for his bullet wounds, his scratches, his scrapes. As they take blood from Deku and see, who his family really is. As they find out that he is the son of a woman by the name of Inko. And he belongs to such and such town in such and such state. As they do call Inko and tell her that we found your son. As she is crying with joy, not sadness. As she's wondering when she could go and see him. They say that they're in such and such hospital in such and such state in such and such city. As Inko, drives there immediately. She gets there in about an hour or so. As she rushes in, she sees Deku, basically knocked out. He's not in a coma, he's just knocked out. He's sleeping, he's resting, he was tired. As she rushes over to Deku's side and, starts crying, saying, "My baby, my baby, what have they done to my baby?" As Inko is holding Deku's hand. Deku then wakes up and, looks to his left and says, "Mom?" As Inko knows Deku is awake, as she hugs Deku hugs her back. Deku is in a little pain from moving since he has bullet wounds and, stab wounds and scrapes all over his bodies and wounds. But, he, just, goes with it. He doesn't care about the pain, he just wants to hold his mother. As Inko is still crying and holding Deku. This is when the doctor comes in and says, "Well, Miss Inko, little Izuku here, or your son here, is discharged from the hospital and he can go home. So, you have a pleasant day, and I'm sorry for what happened." As Inko takes his Deku back home, and, everyone is shocked to see Deku again, as Deku has to get accumulated back into society, which, it's really tough for him, seeing as he had spent the last 3 years in constant, survival state, worrying about his well-being. He got sick so many times that he basically got immunity to most sicknesses. He pushed past his limit so much that he basically got inhuman strength. Well, he has human strength, but he is at peak human performance, even at such a young age. He learned, parkour from basically have to jump to tree, branch to branch. Even have to, climb up buildings fast enough to get out of gunfire. His eyes move so fast he can perceive, he can notice things faster than normal people can. He runs fast enough to basically, he runs faster than Usain Bolt, which I believe is 25 miles per hour. He basically runs faster than that. His skills with knives are very, very good. And his instincts are very top notch. He found the skill to release bloodlust, so he can do that. He found the skill to hide his bloodlust, to basically go invisible, like Toga does. He found the skill to basically mask his breathing, that hides his heartbeat. He can even match someone else's breathing to sound just like them. And even if you next to him, he's breathing just like you won't notice him. You probably think it's yourself. And he's just moving right behind you. He is perfect mimicry, able to mimic anyone else. He has top-notch, gun, skills. He can shoot a gun very good. His aim is on point, being compared to that of Deadshot. He is a master in martial arts that he created himself. There's a lot of other things for him. And if you touch him even the slightest, he moves fast enough to take you down. So people advise from not touching Deku. As Bakugo, hears that Deku is back, the police station hears, and Mitsuki and Deku's, basically not Deku's school, class, because he didn't go to school yet. Actually, yeah, he did go to school, but his class hears that too. Most of the ones that remember him and his teachers. So most of them go to visit Deku, but Deku isn't really talking. He doesn't talk that much anymore, and basically he don't like the light on. Well, he likes he don't really like talking to anyone. He doesn't like when anyone touches him, because he's never let anyone really get that close to him before in like 3 years. Unless he's trying to get close to them and basically off them. And basically that's it. As Bakugo goes to touch Deku, Deku basically ducks Bakugo's hand, flips him over his shoulders, take him down, put his foot under his armpit, and basically twist Bakugo's arm around his leg, and basically dislocates his shoulder by kicking up his armpit. Kicking up his the bone by your arm. The bone with your armpit at right here, and then he kicks up, kicking Bakugo's arm out of socket. And Bakugo screams for this. Deku noticed what he did and said sorry. His reflexes, instincts. As Mitsuki heard about the scene, and she rushes in and see what happens. As Mitsuki sees Bakugo on the ground, screaming for pain, seeing him grabbing his arm. She's wondering what happened. Then Deku says sorry, it was my reflexes, and I made a mistake and dislocated his shoulder. As Mitsuki is wondering what he means by reflexes, but she doesn't care at the moment, as she rushes Koski to the hospital. They get there, the doctor relocates Bakugo's shoulder, and Mitsuki calls Inko to ask what really happened to Deku and what did he mean by he dislocated Koski's shoulder on reflexes. As Inko explains, everything that the SWAT team basically told her. There were other children that was there, but they got released back to their families, and the ones that didn't come back to their families were saddened. They don't hold it against Deku. The ones their families died, they do somewhat resent Deku for killing them, but they know that he had to do that just to survive. Mitsuki basically gets this information, and she knows now that Deku basically is just like this now and forever. Doesn't like being touched, doesn't like talking, and he wears all black most of the time. But sometimes he will be seen wearing camouflage and going out into the woods, which Inko doesn't really like, the fact that he goes out into the woods, but she allows it. Deku bought himself a bow with money he made from basically working jobs. He bought himself a bow and some arrows. And he got himself some weapons. And a knife. And a backpack. With rations and, food. And he basically went to the woods one time and didn't come back for more than half a year. 6 months. Inko was a little bit worried, but, she thought that her baby was alright. And then after 6 months, Deku comes back. He comes back with a lion coat that he made from basically killing a lion. Comes back with a necklace with teeth on it from multiple animals that he killed. Comes back with a little scar. Well, not a little, but a big scar on his back of claw marks and other things like that. bite marks on his arms, and a lot of other things. As Inko is wondering what happened to him as he explains. Went out to the forest, got lost, had to fight multiple animals, killed the lion, killed the bear, killed two tigers, and a whole, basically pride of lions. I didn't kill the cubs, I let them live. And they're still out there. Well, not out there. Seems like two of them followed me back. As Deku looks down to see two lion cubs. Basically snuggling against his feet. As Inko sees this, he is a little bit scared because there are lion cubs. But, Deku picks him up and basically goes inside. As he drops off his basically his bag, his lion coat, and he goes and takes a shower. He comes out, the lion cubs basically playing with each other. It's two male lion cubs, as Deku basically gives them some food and they eat it. As Deku goes to sleep. He wakes up the next morning and starts training, basically keeps up his skills that he learned from back then. Now, let's skip 4 years. Deku was 12. As Deku did, come a little bit, famous. The only kid to basically survive this ruthless game that they call Rules of Survival. Yes, I'm calling it Rules of Survival, not PUBG and not Knives Out. I'm calling it Rules of Survival, which is a different game like PUBG and Knives Out. But PUBG, the best one, for mobile. I'm talking about mobile games, not the computer versions. PUBG is definitely one of them. Knives Out and other ones. I don't know the other ones, but those are the ones I played. As actually, yeah, this one will lead us off. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you all next time. Peace out.